This is BBC News, the headlines at midday. Emmanuel Macron is re-elected as French president. He promises to unite the country after defeating the anti-immigration candidate Marine Le Pen.
My friends, we will need to be kind and respectful because our country harbours many doubts and divisions. So we will need to be strong. But nobody will be left by the wayside.
The Russian Defense Ministry offers a ceasefire around Mariupol's Azovstal steel plant to allow civilians to evacuate. President Zelensky meets top US diplomat Antony Blinken. It's the first time a senior US official has visited Ukraine since the war began. The US Defense Secretary says they want to see Russia weakened.
It has already lost a lot of military capability and a lot of its troops, quite frankly. And we want to see them not have the capability to very quickly reproduce that capability.
Boris Johnson has told Labour's Angela Rayner he regards claims made about her in yesterday's Mail on Sunday as misogynistic. The paper said some Tory MPs had suggested she tried to distract the Prime Minister in the Commons by crossing and uncrossing her legs. A man's been arrested on suspicion of murder after 4 people were found stabbed to death in South London. Victims of sexual offences in England and Wales are facing the longest waits on record for their cases to go through court. So Emmanuel Macron has been re-elected French president. We can go live now to David Eades in Paris.
A symbol of victories over years past. It's also perhaps a symbol of the victory Emmanuel Macron has secured this time round. He is, after all, only the first president for 20 years now to have won a successive second term in office. He did that by beating the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen, and on paper by beating her with a substantial margin of victory. Nonetheless, we've seen protests in the course of the last 5 years of Macron's first quinquennat, as they call it. We've had the COVID pandemic, we've got the war in Ukraine. It has been a very challenging time for any politician, but Monsieur Macron has been seen by many as aloof, not really engaged with the surging cost of living crisis here in France as well, and that did allow Marine Le Pen to increase her vote share significantly. So the final tally does look good for Monsieur Macron. 58.5% of the vote against 41.5% for his rival. And I think it's worth saying also that we saw in this election a lot of disengagement from the public. The abstention rate was the highest since 1969. 72% turnout is what they managed to reach. And in his victory speech, Monsieur Macron also acknowledged that many in this country voted for me, as he put it, not because they support my ideas, but to keep out those of the far right. Not the best reason to elect a president. But he thanked those voters nonetheless, saying, I owe them a debt in the years to come. We wait to see what that will mean, of course, for the people of France who didn't vote for him, but did get him back into office. Here's Jessica Parker.